Welcome back to the Scrum, November 18th. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you were saying something.
I was saying something, but
you said real quick. Hit something real quick off top.
That's recording. That's recording. Oh yeah, thank you. I had to retrace my footsteps. If you follow this channel, if you happen upon this video, please like, share it, subscribe it. You know what I'm saying? Talk about it. Word of mouth.
Definitely. Hit us up on the socials at Talkin Sauce Pod.
Hit us up on Talkin Sauce Pod. Follow our individuals, man. You know what I'm saying? Give me at Teebs, T-A-B-Z-Z.
And give me JAY_COBBB. And Dylan.
Sometimes you can find me on Reddit at UTBagsYourMum 69420 lowercase x capital X.
And we just want to let you guys know, the audience, that we are reachable, attainable individuals.
It's true. We're touchable. You can get touched.
I don't want to touch you though, because there's, you know what I'm saying? There should be like a partition here, really. We need a partition.
It's an emotional.
We're going to work on that. Just years and years of pain.
Pain and resentment.
Have left a bitter shell.
That's why we have Ralphie in the room, just to even the vibe.
Well, he's actually like a fucking mental health dog.
Well, see, you know how your computer has in your whatever it is,
the
hotspot?
Yeah.
He's the emotional hotspot.
He
does all that bad energy and just dissipates within him, dude.
He does, dude.
Shouts out Ralphie.
Shouts out Ralphie. He's so zen.
He's so zen. Just sleeping.
It's a good pupper. All right, so little shit going on, you know what I'm saying? CDL. Yep. It's just, for me, it's like, it's my boobs lately. It's what I'm into. It's going to take over sports while sports are being weird, and there's no sports on right now that I watch anyway. I'm not a big NFL guy personally, you know what I'm saying? But CDL, it's kicking back up. Teams are getting to know the maps. I don't think most of the big pros, Scrump included, and those guys, we'll talk about more about him, haven't played Warzone. At least haven't streamed it since Black Ops dropped. They've only been playing.
Is there a season coming up? I think
they're going to start in January as well. Okay. I think that's the plan. And I don't know how that's
going
to work.
There's a lot of learning.
It's a bubble.
A lot of learning.
You got to learn the maps. You got and think about this too. I mean, different game engines. You don't want to go back and fuck up your movement. You know what I'm saying? You got your muscles and reflexes set up for that game. But relevant to what's happened recently. So the esports world's just so emerging, right? It's just so overtaking. It's something extremely new, and there's a lot of money to be fucking had. There's a lot of money to be made, and I mean, it's a pro sports league, quote unquote, where the player salaries aren't public. You know what I mean? Okay. Comparing that to like other fucking pro leagues, we all talk about the year deal that this guy got and how much this guy's going to be making, X number $1 million contract.
I actually didn't know that.
Their salaries aren't public knowledge. So, there's so many different aspects related to the common sports, pro sports that we're used to, publicly criticizing and getting information about. That's why I'm so drawn to it personally. And so what's coming out recently is, Scump, who's known as one of the best players in the game. If you don't know, you know.
At least one of the most popular.
Absolutely.
Skill maybe
if
debatable,
he didn't play competitively, he could be making way more money doing content.
Oh, absolutely.
Just because of, if he played other games more and shit like that. But he does his thing. He went public about some of the fines he got last year. One of which was for fucking doing an ad play of another game. Raid Shadow Legends. They paid him to do
to play their game.
For however long on his stream. And it was not even during the season, not even during the CDL season, and then the CDL decided they had the ability to fine them. Yeah. And and we don't know what those numbers are. He doesn't admit what those numbers are, but he gets fined for that. It's kind of shitty, right? Yeah. So there's that. And then
it kind of reminds me of the NCAA. How the kind of monopoly they have over their players and how they're allowed to make money off of their own name. You know what I mean?
Right. But that's an interesting tie for sure.
This is not a good organization you want to be compared to, though.
No, at all. But nonetheless, so he got fines for that, and then he got fined for talking some shit about the CDL, backhandedly a little bit. And apparently too, players all arrived at one of the first LAN events, and they all hit them up with contracts for that season and sign this or don't play type things. Yeah. So a lot of just kind of sketchy, unfair to the player type dealings going on. Whole point to that is the players got together to form a player union, right? And allegedly, it's come out recently that Scump was one of the only guys out of 60 people who wouldn't sign the stuff for the union. And most recently, and his known rival, ex-teammate Crimsix, fucking outed him on Twitter. Was like, yo, you're one of the 60 people that wouldn't sign up, because he was talking all this shit about how like the game needs to be better for this, skill-based matchmaking, that yada yada yada, and being like, well, yo, you're one of 60, and apparently like just got signed up with the union, most like not too far ahead of that.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is, it's a really odd coincidence that he gets called out for it. Is like, oh no, like I'm part of the union now, or like I just got the shit today. His whole story on his stream was that back when he first heard about it, he like got ghosted on the information.
Yeah.
So he never could follow through with it.
Yeah.
I'm willing to think that it was more like, because obviously if there's a players union, that's going to adversely affect the owners in some way, which not to the benefit of the players. Not saying they shouldn't get those benefits. I'm just saying that's the reality of it.
Yeah.
Hector, who's the owner of the team that he's a part of, all the teams he's been a part of, made him who he is.
They're like boys.
They're super fucking tight.
Yeah.
They're family. I wouldn't be surprised if he told him like, hey man, just don't do nothing on this right now.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what it's going to do to me.
Yeah.
So just chill.
And in the same, how you were saying at that LAN event where the contracts were presented, and he was saying like our lawyers couldn't look through them. It's like he still signed that, as opposed to, it's like, but then all the other players were like, hey, players union, like,
right.
And then he was like, well, nah, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It's just very, it's quite a coincidence.
It was something I kind of wanted to like get your thoughts on, I guess, because like how you were saying, this is so new. You're seeing players come up and become the owners in the organization. Like we were talking about that in the last Scrum. Like, do you
get a very quick succession?
Yeah, it's like, do you think that because like, I mean, obviously there's going to be a lot of close ties. Like you look at the same thing with like Nate Shot, and I'm sure some of the guys on his teams. Do you see that as being a problem in the league moving forward, or like?
It's just right. So it's like if they want to be like NFL, NHL, MLB, NBA, they're going to have to get way more stuff in writing.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that they get to do now and get to do content about now, because look at us. Look at what we're talking about. This is information about pro athletes and pro organizations that we wouldn't get to know about other organizations.
Yeah.
So it's just, for me, it's a gold mine of information, right? It's super interesting. And it, again, it's like we're talking about, it's emerging, it's a moving train.
Yeah.
Fucking hop on or miss it. You know what I'm saying? But fucking,
and it's so small right now too, relatively.
Exactly. Relatively
like you said,
speaking,
like there were 60 players that had to get signed up for the players union versus who knows how many's in the fucking.
Well, and just
NHL
consider they
players
went from 5s to 4s.
Yeah.
So and that was at the beginning of last season when there was still 5s.
And shrunk the roster now.
Exactly, it's less people to even have those opinions, or have your back for that matter, or have the platform to have your back, because they're not fucking main roster guys otherwise. It's all super interesting, very compelling. I'm not against any sort of players union. I think it's a great thing. They got to have their fucking shit taken care of 100%. You don't want to fuck them over. They're the face of everything.
Yeah.
The beautiful part is, and we talked about this last time, it's much more of an organic type of dealing where like these guys make friendships and then they become teammates, become employees of these organizations. Mm-hmm. It's a much more handshake type of situation, and outside of the organization there's friendships here versus any other sort of like, okay, like let's talk about a draft, right? None of these guys were drafted on these teams. They weren't selected, right? They weren't picked from a stock of guys, you know what I'm saying? It's not some weird fucked up power trip type thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? The way we know pro sports now, which it is. Yeah. Everything's compelled to make the players feel like they have no power as far as the organization is concerned. Yeah. I mean, we see that changing, thank God. Guys like LeBron James helped change that. Yeah, I mean he fucking is the owner of whatever team he's played for. He gets
to do anything he wants. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure Patrick, well, maybe not Patrick. Chicago Blackhawks is a different organization. Any other team, a guy like Patrick Kane would command it. Connor McDavid probably commands that kind of respect. Yeah. Just with his skill alone.
Yeah. Crosby, obviously.
Crosby, of course, has a say. There's no way he doesn't have a say in everything. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'd be very surprised otherwise. And that guy like him would say that he doesn't. Bullshit. Yeah, yeah. Interesting. Take the CDL, for example. It'd be way easier to find out if that was true or not.
It's true.
And that's why it's so interesting the way these stories come out and what could or could not happen.
It is kind of an interesting thing the CDL has to deal with. How close do they work with Activision when the games are getting made? You know what I mean? Because there's so much like out of the control. Like with the NFL, NHL, they decide how the game is played. They decide all the parameters of the game. But with the CDL, it's like they get handed their game and then have to fucking, all right, this gun's allowed, this gun's not allowed, like do all that stuff.
Well,
it's real crazy.
I mean, yeah, think about it even, breaking it down further, like when they first started competing in COD or first-person shooters of any kind, it was, it wasn't the game's idea to do that, right?
Yeah.
It was the game and people created. That is called capitalism.
Yeah.
You hate it all you want.
For sure.
You take something and you create something out of that can generate wealth for more people. That's literally what capitalism is.
Yeah.
But it's super interesting to see how else this type of stuff can unfold. If it gets bigger, likely more stuff will go into writing. And I'm telling you, these are the golden years of seeing these pro athletes in their most natural state.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, I hope not. I want it to stay like this. I want pro sports to become more like this. This is the personality that people beg for in the NHL.
Yeah.
Right? And you're right. I don't think it will either, especially if it gets bigger. So enjoy it while it lasts.
I will say the streaming aspect really, really helps that. What's the word I'm looking for? Transparency.
Yeah.
Because mostly just like sitting 8 hours talking, like shit gets slipped out all the time just because like it's you at the end of the day on the headset with 4 buddies.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
for sure. It's all good shit. Let's just jump through some other stuff. The retro reverse jerseys came out.
They did.
We're going to talk about that on the pod.
On the podcast,
so look
which you should
forward
listen
to that.
to.
Sunday, bitches.
Yeah, well, Monday,
bitches.
We recorded Sunday.
We'll be here Sunday.
Yeah.
You can come here if you want. I'm not telling you where here is, but
if you find it, if you put in the effort to find it,
I'll let you in.
Yeah.
If you dox me, I'll let you in.
Yeah.
What happens after that? You walked in my house.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That's fucked up.
But some crazy shit.
Speaking
dude.
of fucked up, go ahead.
I don't know which fucked up thing you were going to.
You had it.
But I was jumping into Jeezy and Gucci Man doing a versus, dude. How? Like
you can't get them in the same room.
That's what I'm like. There's like very real street beef between these two. Like people
How fucked up would it be if they had a versus and they had metal detectors? That is fucked.
Like visible, like
that is fucked. You know what I mean?
Dude, like fucking high school prom, dude.
That's just fucked. But you would have to.
I mean,
with these guys, with these two specific individuals, and the history that they have with each other, like this is.
Yeah, it's so high profile. Like,
yeah.
I don't. Speaking of something very new, this versus thing is.
And what a great concept!
Born
like this is. Yeah. We should have had. I guess you need time for artists to build those catalogs so they can be that great. But like, man, we should have had this a long time
it's super
ago.
Cool. But it's like everyone was talking about like what that one whatever diss track that Gucci Mane put out where he's like, go dig your partner up. I bet he won't say shit. Like they should just like play have that be song number 1 and just people aren't even like commenting on Instagram.
Like
Live
I promise
and shit.
you're gonna see like cause, you see them like them both sitting there like listening, waiting, like someone's tucking their lips in, like someone's not happy. I'm telling you,
just like the song ends. Trash. Just like
was it
whack.
Was it T.I. who wouldn't see Busta, or was it Busta who wouldn't see?
It was T.I. who I think turned down Busta.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Well, I mean, obviously Busta Rhymes is a better rapper. Like that's not even a question.
Probably.
T.I.'s
different styles.
Well, I think that too.
Yeah,
but we, I think what we both would akin to like just lyricism and all that. I think it's just easier to hand to Busta.
Yeah, he's an incredible rapper.
The penmanship.
Yeah.
T.I. writes stories. You know what I'm saying? He absolutely tells tales. Great tales.
Yeah.
More hits though.
Who, T.I.?
Yeah.
I would have to say so. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe we could be just younger and there's a few Busta hits we're missing.
Younger and we're also obviously from the South, so
that too.
We're definitely gonna get.
You got to remember that.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
T.I. and obviously T.I. was huge around.
He was
around here, fucking Georgia.
Like even like back when he was still like just making a lot of features.
Yeah.
On like other like whatever was big at the time. You forget all those artists, right?
Yeah.
What's it called, man? I can remember the song. I can't remember the
Dude,
group.
you should sing the song, dude.
I'm not going to sing the song.
I'm not going to sing the song, dude. Sing the song.
I'm a punk, so I walk the back of the club and I bump in the trunk.
Oh, I do know what song you're talking about.
I'm never scared.
So, we should have had like Shazam up while you were doing that.
Shazam goes, "White boy, what the fuck are you talking about?"
It just cuts off. Dude,
Calling police now.
Yeah, this Gucci Jeezy versus is pretty fucking crazy.
Is wild.
It's pretty crazy that it's happening. This will probably be. I haven't really watched. I've seen clips of other ones.
Jeezy have more hits?
I don't know. I mean, Jeezy was huge.
Jeezy was like big.
Yeah.
But Gucci was like big. He went to prison.
Yeah.
Really hurts your discography.
It does.
Unless you're Tupac.
Well, he's putting out albums from jail, wasn't he?
They all do.
Yeah,
Kodak did too. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Did not help though. It also depends on what you go to jail for.
That's true. Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. But it's crazy beef there. A lot of history.
I
definitely kind of want to tune into this one to watch the entire thing.
What is your perfect versus match? It could have already happened. You don't have to be right about that. Like, who you just would like to see in a verse?
Like just fantasy wise?
Just off top. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. There's no prizes.
I think Kendrick and J. Cole doing the verse.
Fuck.
Like that's real like new school.
That's like super like typical like corny almost, but like that is still
like it would be
unbeatable.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like the only person that like I would never want to see would probably be like Drake, just because I think he like every song is almost a trump card. Like I don't know if there's anyone they could put out. They could put up 20 songs. I think that's the system. 20 songs.
Oh, is that what it is?
That could rival any 20 of Drake's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I don't know. It's like you're saying. It's real kind of typical. But I would love to see just the track for track.
Who wins?
Who would win?
Who wins?
Dude, I mean,
I couldn't say. I could never say. I could never
say either.
I could
like,
never say it.
It would literally depend on like what
Dylan,
song got played against which. Dylan, what you got, dude?
You can't. I mean, my gut's gonna say Kendrick because, but we ain't heard from him in a while. You know, my mind is a little fresher to.
Just like
Cole, man.
Like think about the song. I mean, Kendrick, he still does features and he's on some bangers.
Yeah.
But Cole jumps on bombs.
Exactly. He does.
Cole jumps on bombs. Like when he's not dropping music, he jumps on absolute, and he makes Kendrick makes the song too as the feature though.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's the thing. Like
you could play the Control song as one of Kendrick's joints, but it's not his song. But you could play it as one of his hits.
You absolutely could.
But Cole does the same shit.
Yeah. There's a lot of... it would just depend on what song got played against which, you know what I'm saying?
You just got to pick that. You got to pick the right Pokemon.
You do.
You got to pick the right Pokemon. Your starting six got to be on fleek. Speaking of fleets...
Dude,
what the fuck is going on, dude?
Twitter was like, we're gonna bring you Instagram stories that were originally Snapchat stories.
You know how people reply to shit with like, who the fuck asked? And like, that's like the common meme. Like, this is the biggest who the fuck asked moment of 2020 right here. Right here, right now. Who the fuck asked for this?
Yeah, literally nobody. Literally nobody. And then they're gonna do those, the talk room things. You remember, have you seen this? It's gonna be like...
I've seen the talk tweets, the speech tweets.
But what
are those called? Speets?
Speeds. Probably, dude. Just like, dude, they just.
I got speed. I got fleet. I got tweet.
It's like whatever it is, it's got to end.
It's like that dude from. It's like what's his face? The actor from Spaceballs. Guy, amazing sound effects.
Oh yeah.
Forget his name. Police Academy.
The bleeps.
The sweeps and the creeps.
Yeah. But it's gonna be like. Have you heard about Clubhouse? This other app.
I have only seen tweets
like about it.
Clubhouse.
It's like
I'm not in the Clubhouse.
It's basically
I'm not in.
Like a talk room, essentially, just like a Microsoft Teams meeting, but no cameras.
A chat room.
Yeah, it's a chat, but like you have to be like invited to
Facebook before. Okay, so like OG Facebook.
But it's like you have to be invited into it, and then it's like divided up among like you can be in as just a listener, and like there's no way that you're gonna be able to talk.
Discord.
Yeah, it's taking all of that, and Twitter's like we're gonna do
that too.
We're gonna do Instagram story thing,
and then we're gonna buy it, and then we're gonna make much money, and then we're gonna stick our dick in the money, and then
we're gonna buy TikTok and shut that shit down. Dude, we fucking hate TikTok.
Fucking China, fucking TikTok, and think you're so fucking smart. I'm Jack Dorsey.
We already fucking took out Vine, dude. We know how.
What's your thoughts on the edit button?
It's dumb.
No edit button?
No.
I feel that. I'm on
like
the same page.
I don't know how you implement it without if something gets 50,000 retweets and then you just go in and you're like just change it to something real fucked up. And
the common solution is have the ability to hit a button that shows the original tweet. I think that's a fair workaround. But my thing is like if you didn't have it from the jump, you fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, just
You made your
Be
bet.
careful. Be fucking careful what you put out there.
That's the point of everything.
That,
that's the point of life.
Plus, you can delete tweets.
You can.
You can.
And if you're famous enough, they're going to get screenshotted. I bet.
Delete. I mean, yeah, but like, fuck it, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah.
Just be careful.
That's why you got to be careful. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think no one asked for this stories thing. It's not going to go anywhere. We're stuck with it now.
Let's end on this. Guitar Center filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Of some kind.
Like,
I don't think stores are going to be closing necessarily.
But they did it.
Now let's keep this in mind. I mean, I got some shit around me with music. Fuck with music. I don't walk in Guitar Centers very often.
No,
do not very often.
What's the big website?
Sweetwater.
With shit like that. I mean,
or I was even going to say guitarcenter.com.
Yeah,
if I did
literally.
any buying on guitarcenter.com, most of it was online way before the pandemic.
Because I think in seeing this, I think the guitar sales are actually like really like at the highest they've been in a long time.
No one's doing shit.
That's what I'm saying. People are like, let's pick up a hobby, learn to play guitar. And it's like,
but owning like
brick and mortar,
a store and having fucking how many on display at all times? Like that's the thing about the supply chain in house, just fucking doing nothing, just surplus, just sitting there.
For real.
You know, if someone's not coming in and you got this starry-eyed teen looking at that thing for 2 years, eventually he or
coming
she
in
buy
playing it.
Yeah, and exactly, and you just don't have that. You're not selling that one
for real. It's really a look to the future where the only viable storefronts are going to be coffee shops and breweries, dude. Everything else is just going to get sent to your door.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore. Send me away.
I can't wait, dude. Bring it on.
Send me away, or
no? I want every storefront to be a coffee shop or a brewery, dude. That's it.
What about a liquor store?
They can put the liquor in one of the
coffee.
Yeah, put it. Yeah, they have it in both. You know what I'm saying? Everyone likes
one-stop shop.
Exactly. Dude.
In a bank.
Sure. We can online bank, dude. Everything's gonna be fucking numbers in the computer anyway.
You do not need to go to a doctor in person,
future.
unless you need to be administered like
exactly.
a surgery or like
you're gonna send someone a picture, whatever it is, and be like, you got to go to your designated health spot, and then you get in there.
That rash looks gross. Here's a prescription for.
And they won't even let you in if you haven't been referred by your online.
You got to put the prescription
provider.
On the wall,
yeah. It's gonna be the fucking QR code. You just.
It'll be the chip in your arm.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
Your chip says you have no prescription. Yeah. Now I have to send you to prison.
It's a beautiful, comfortable dystopian future. Better than the ones they made movies about, dude. But far more boring. You can find us. At Talkin' Sauce Pod. No underscore.
Never.
Respect the underscore.
Respect it.
Check out the podcast. Anywhere you get podcasts. All them streaming places.
Check out the podcast. Check out that's all we got going besides this. So just check out this
the podcast. This is the podcast. Like and subscribe. You can get me at JCobb, JAY_COBBB. Josh.
TABZZ.
You can find me on Reddit at Teabags Your Mom 69420 lowercase x capital X. That's Teabags Your Mom 69420 lowercase x capital X.